So what's up, everybody? It's me, Tana. I'm actually competent this time in my stuff. Yeah, we're
Or
gonna do a
uh,
iceberg thing. We're gonna do that. Yeah. Make sure subscribe to Wendigoon. Make sure you subscribe to Hunter Fam Salad. Make sure you subscribe to Dragon. I forgot the numbers. That I don't know if it's the same as it shows on screen here or not, but
Oh, no idea. I
make
have
sure you
absolutely no idea.
subscribe to that boyo.
Because, haha, don't upload.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna be watching
Let's
today. We're gonna be watching Conspiracy Theory Iceberg Part 4, 1 out of 2.
conspiracy poggers.
I
Conspiracy
would
Pog.
prefer.
All right, so let's just get right into it.
What is up, everyone? And we are back with Tier 4. Pretty much nothing to update on. The channel's doing great.
Shit, I
Thank you
was
all for
watching a
that. I
stream.
will say that some of
Good
these
job.
are a lot more in-depth and specific than ones we've seen in the past, but that's just the trend that keeps going for the entire iceberg. So hopefully they just keep getting better, and hopefully you all enjoy. So sincerely, thank you for watching. Tier 4's title is Adept of Secrets, and
Hope
it
his
reads,
mic doesn't
Occult
die this
learnings and
time.
mysteries of lower tier that apparently seem to be innocent start to become more sinister. You begin to see patterns everywhere, realizing you only dipped your toes in the conspiracy world. Very few people believe or have heard of stuff from this level. First up, we have the Dzopa tribe and the related Dropas stones. This one was really interesting. In 1938, a Chinese research team went to the Himalayan mountains in search of some ore deposit that had been picked up by geographers. Once the team
Look,
got
it's
there,
a
however, they
sharing
found
gun.
716 graves hidden in the back of these tunnel systems that ran through the Himalayan mountains. What's even weirder was inside of each of these graves was a 4-foot tall human skeleton with an abnormally large sized skull. The tombs were filled with ciphers and hieroglyphics that didn't make sense, but located on each one of the grave was a circular disc that have since been termed the Dropa stones. Each of these discs are estimated to be 12,000 years old and contain minerals such as cobalt, which is very rare and normally only found on meteorites. At least, in the Himalayan mountains. Years later, research from a Russian university determined that the hieroglyphics on the Dropa stones read out prime numbers. Since this experience, the Chinese government has censored all information regarding it and made that section of the Himalayas a no-travel zone. So yeah, starting off with a good one. Lord Pacl.
So, what do you think?
Definitely not a. Definitely. I have actually no idea. Realistically,
And
it's more suspicious the fact that they covered up all information about it.
Yeah, because China.
Well, yeah, even if it wasn't China, even if it wasn't just China, it still is weird that they decided that really anyone would be all like, we found these weird bodies. You know what? We're gonna cover everything up now.
to
Yeah,
be
Like even
fair, they're the same government that have been that if you have a photo of their leader in a BDSM suit, then you are legally obligated to go to court and get executed.
hmm,
Like seriously, if you have a photo of the leader of China in a BDSM suit, you will get fucking killed.
sounds
I'm
reasonable. Definitely.
not I'm not joking when I say this, by the way.
Yeah.
I might be lying. I'm not sure. This could have been just a fib that I was told a while back. But
that sounds false, but at the same time,
Time
it's the
Machine
leader
relates.
of China we're talking about. Where Winnie the Pooh is illegal.
Like, I wouldn't doubt it.
then I better never go to China. Wait a minute.
China.
The Himalayas a no-travel
China.
zone. So yeah, starting off with a good one. Lord Pacl's time machine relates to the Mayan king
Do you
Lord
hate
Pacl.
China?
When
I am
researchers found
legally
his coffin, they
obligated to say
noticed the
no.
odd inscriptions on the lid of the coffin that showed him laying inside of what seemed to be some sort of machinery interacting with this very diverse device for whatever reason. What's especially odd is the related Mayan transcriptions in the area spoke that Lord Pacl had the ability to control the turning of the sun and things such as. What's even weirder is upon further inspection of the body in the coffin, it is estimated to be that of a 30 to 40-year-old man. Lord Pacl was king of this Mayan area for 80 years. So either someone else is buried in Lord Pacl's grave, or That inscription of him controlling a machine and turning back the moon and the stars may have some worth to it. Monsanto.
That's pretty interesting.
He brought
I
himself
honestly
back.
love conspiracies like that.
He brought himself back to live.
No, he made himself younger. Is what-
Because
Oh,
wibbity woobity timey wimey stuff.
Yeah.
if you say timey wimey, I'm gonna punch you in the throat.
Timey wimey. I still have my throat not punched. Haha, get dunked.
I'm actually gonna be right back. Let's take a small break. I need to put my phone on charge. I need to go pee pee and throw away some trash. So, but small
Well,
break time. We're not
well,
pausing either. This is all on stream as well.
then lucky for Tono, this is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Yes, throwing them mid rolls buys.
How did you
Uh,
know about the? How did you know about the Raid Shadow Legends?
because who isn't sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends?
That's fair.
And don't forget that this is sponsored by Hunter's Forehead.
You
More
know
like a
what?
10 head, but whatever.
Actually, sir, I have. That's why I have long hair, because if you look under here, I have like my
Oh
forehead.
god. Oh god, you could land a whole plane on that forehead.
Damn straight. That's why I went to aeronautics so I can land a plane on this puppy.
But yeah, my forehead is the relative size of too small when my hair is grown out. Bro, it looks like a 3 head when my hair is grown out, but when it's short, it's usually either a 4 or a 3.5 head.
You remember when I was bald?
Yes, when the last hairbender.
I should shave my hair again.
Just make the last hairbender 2 electric book.
Legend of Horror.
Legend of Hera.
You know what? That's much better than mine.
The best time to wear a striped sweater is committing crimes. And if you think that is the wrong way, the song goes, you're wrong. And don't forget that Tono is also sponsored by me. I own his soul.
All right, the mid rolls are over. I think.
As well as if Tono agrees, then he agrees. Does Tono agree?
Yes.
Cool, then I own his soul.
All right, that's fair.
Who the is Monsanto?
It's
Is that
Probably
the
Monsanto.
green bean company or the corn company?
no, it's the
Or the
company that
weed company.
legally owns Hunter and all of his corn.
I'm
Go
down
down
to
to
buy
the
some
shop,
corn.
try some corn.
We
We
will
will
sacrifice
Sacrifice
your
your
sacrifice your
newborn.
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 Get off my joke, bandwagoners.
Except I said it first, at least
Except
from my
I said it
perspective.
last, so take that.
So Pog.
All right, let's continue.
Is essentially your stereotypical evil conglomerate company. They have been known to sue farmers for using natural pesticides in growing supplements. They have been known to fund government campaigns in which the elected politician plans to cut back on restrictions regarding the environment, and have even gone as far to cover up cancer research on their specific products when it's been known to, cause cancer. Of course, as you could imagine, Monsanto is at the center of a lot of conspiracies regarding big pharma
Oh
and
wait,
evil
I
tech and
remember
things such as.
Monsanto now.
He looks so disappointed
I'll
in you.
pretend like I actually know who this person is because I don't.
Yes.
Monsanto, I think, is the company that has produced this thing that this metal, or not this metal, but this material. Have any of you guys seen Black Water or Dark Waters or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
Where there's like where supposedly it's causing birth defects and a lot of cancer in a lot of individuals, causing their
Yeah,
teeth to turn black as well.
it's the evil people who make things.
They're making Venom from that one show, Pablo Escobar or something.
Apparently, half of the population, or no, all of the population in America had their product inside of them, and it never dies out. So if you have tried it, or if you used it once in life, if you used it, and if it was in your pot or pan, if it was on your clothing, if it was anywhere near you, that will stay inside of you until you die. And then there was also this baby that was horribly deformed. But now he's famous and he's really cool. And man, that guy is cool. But that's besides the point. Phenomenal movie. I won't spoil it. Go watch Dark Water. It's wonderful. An amazing
I
movie.
won't spoil it. Spoils everything.
Well, after that big rant, what about your thoughts of Dragon?
No idea. Realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of companies are trying to cover up big mistakes they've made because,
Yeah, they don't want
they don't want to lose all their money,
to. They
and
don't want to ruin their
people
picture.
greed is a very powerful thing.
Yeah.
Vamanas are interesting, and one of the weirdest parts, I think, whenever you look into this whole ancient alien idea. In old Hindu and Sanskrit text, there are these records of these giant flying palaces, and they're not mentioned in any supernatural or strange sense. They're simply depictions and writings of these giant floating palaces that would exist above the Himalayan mountains. It's so odd to me whenever you look at stuff like this, how old world countries would simply just be like, oh yeah, flying houses, those are a thing. North Korea Utopia is
Alright. It's just like, oh yeah, there's temples that float above places. Also, North Korea Utopia.
Oh yeah, don't forget about the whatever.
To be fair, I can understand why this is here, considering back over in Kim Jong Un land, they invented cheeseburgers, they have unicorns, and apparently Kim Jong Un has never taken a shit. That's awesome. I'm
Hunter,
not saying this so I don't get shot. Please don't misconstrue that. Please do not misconstrue it. Please.
Hunter gets put on a fire.
Next time we hear of Hunter, he's like somewhere in North Korea.
I love North Korea. It is a
But yeah,
great place.
those
I
are legitimate
definitely
things.
do not need help.
Those are legitimate things that he's said before.
That's interesting.
I'm not joking. He has said that he has invented cheeseburgers.
Also,
I
I'm
mean,
not joking with you. And he said that his scientists have discovered unicorns and in this mountain that's right next to them, labeled Unicorn Lair. Honestly, honestly, if they haven't found that out sooner, they might be dumbasses. If this was real, if they were, if this was a real thing and they didn't realize that this mountain said Unicorn Lair on it several years ago, I would be baffled.
but yeah,
I will be right back. You guys
Giorgio's
can
probably
continue.
having a great time with the idea of ancient temples hovering over places because Giorgio, the bodybuilder, also ancient aliens boy. Hunter.
Oh boy, I sure do love the way this is totally how North Korea looks. It doesn't look devoid of food and happy.
No, not at all. Alright, let's go.
is exactly what it says. They just be like, oh yeah, flying houses, those are a thing. North Korea Utopia is exactly what it says. It's the idea that North Korea is actually a secretive, perfect world, but that Western media and European media simply discredit it as order to discredit communism and lift up capitalism. That's at least the main version. The other version is a bit more interesting, I think. It's the idea that beneath North Korea is a perfect utopia, but in order to seem unassuming to the world around them, periodically different citizens are sent to live on the surface for years at a time in order to maintain a low-key look, while they live in perfection and disease-free beneath.
Yes, of course, because that would totally explain the large amount of people trying to get over the border.
And also the large amount of people that are starving and going hungry because they decided to invest in ice rinks instead.
Also, what the f are you talking about? What the f are they talking about? Americans trying to slander North Korea. Wasn't North Korea the one that said that has a museum devoted to Americans being cannibalistic assholes? Is, I, I don't think I'm wrong here, so what the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't know that was a thing.
It is a thing, I'm not joking.
Why is there so many things about America all over the place? Because, like, there's also cargo cults, which are just entire groups of people that are like are not up to like the tech that we have and stuff, so they worship America.
I do know that they have movies from America in North Korea. They're
That's ironic.
highly illegal. They are highly illegal to own, but a lot of them get smuggled into North Korea, and a lot of them hide them as much as they can so they can enjoy them later. Apparently, in North Korea, James Bond is very popular. It's very strange. Especially since it's James fucking Bond. That's like the most American anti everywhere else you can get, which is very strange to me.
I could see James Bond being in a British movie, honestly.
I suppose so, but still, like, James Bond is like the hardest American that you can get. Other than maybe Duke Nukem, which is a joke character.
Yeah.
Those are like the epitome of America. Or what America looks like, at least.
However, the first version is usually the most popular, as it's simply saying that our governments are censoring information as to not give us an idea that other systems of government could work better. Lafont, also known as Pierre Lafont, was the chief architect who designed the streets for Washington, D.C. In his notes, he said he used the celestial bodies in order to map out the routes for D.C. That's why D.C. has very odd street planning when it comes to diagonal cuts and things such as. But as other people have pointed out, these streets also line up in satanic shapes, such as several pentagrams or old world geographic shapes being formed by DC streets. This all relates back to the idea that he was funded by the Freemasons and that the original leaders of the United States knew what he was up to, and it's all Illuminati, Satan, government, yeah.
All right then. There's so many theories like this that like have become desensitized to said theories.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of gets turned into the same thing. About one of the only ones that was different in these past two episodes had to have been the North Korea one, which you can tell based off of the amount of things that we had to say based off of it.
Yeah. Also, what kind of name is Lafont?
L infant.
Looks like they just repurposed elephant.
Or L infant.
L infant. Yes, that makes sense. This has the same energy of, okay, so Lamau is working with Lemfao. This is very confusing.
The grand unified conspiracy theory is rather diverse depending on who you ask. Normally it looks something like this, and is just the idea that reptilians and Big Pharma and Illuminati and Satanism and all that interconnect with each other and it is all one conspiracy theory that we just look at certain aspects of. Cyber squatting time travelers is pretty fun.
Okay, so before we go on to cyber squatting time travelers, Grand Unified Conspiracy. I don't know why I like that. I love the idea that all of these conspiracy theories are just linked. It sounds hilarious, and I like it.
Sounds wonderful, actually.
Also, why is there... This has no text underneath it, so I have no idea why there's just a sword right there. But okay.
Can't you tell, you stupid? Sword is related to Illuminati, which is related to Jesus, which is related to North Korea being super cool.
Yes, definitely. Also Jewish space lasers. Anyways.
Conspiracy theory that we just look at certain aspects of. Cyber squatting time travelers is pretty funny. For those that don't know, cyber squatting is the practice of buying URLs or usernames on websites that you know are the names of famous people or companies in the hopes that they will one day buy that domain off of you. So the time traveler aspect is hilarious. The only evidence I could find with any of this was supposedly odd names that wouldn't have made a lot of sense, but I mean, you could just chalk that up to people hoping to get lucky. Comic-Con child recruitment's pretty sad. Just the fact that there are children every year during Comic-Con who go missing, the idea of which being they're abducted by human trafficking rings. However, the conspiracy goes a level deeper and says that Comic-Con knows of this behavior, but they are paid off in order to turn a blind eye or to not better tighten security to prevent this type of thing. Plastic surgery.
Okay, we just kind of went through two
I
of them.
don't think that I want to go to Comic-Con anymore.
For like half a second, I thought that said child restaurant. You know, the child restaurant.
Do they have child workers, or do they eat the children?
I'll be right back.
You're mute. You're mute. Oh. Well, wow, I can't believe you do it. I'm gonna sit back here and think about the atrocities that I've committed. Even being here and several laws that I could have possibly
I'm back.
broken. Welcome back. How would you like your child served? Medium or medium?
I would like some gummy bears. We don't have gummy bears. We have fetuses.
It's the next best thing. We can slap some sugar on them and you can set them out. So good.
It's great. It's great.
Turn a
I
blind
have a
eye
feeling
or to
that what
not
we're
better
doing is
tighten
highly
security to
illegal on
prevent this type of
multiple.
thing. Plastic surgery runaways was just vague enough that it was hard to find any information on. I believe this is referring to the fact that there are plastic surgeons who will famously perform surgery on either runaways or people who have been kidnapped. This wraps back into human trafficking, but it adds an extra layer to it by implying that medical professionals, or at least some, are in on the whole scheme. Lifetide is a book written by...
That's interesting. So you get to look. Not only do you get abducted from Comic-Con, but you also get plastic surgery.
Oh, how delightful. I thought you were about to say that's interesting, and then just move on. Wow, what a great reaction there.
Oh wow. Anyway.
Medical professionals, or at least some, are in on the whole scheme. Lifetide is a book written by Lyle Watson. A lot of the complex in it are pretty intense. From what little brief reading I did on it, it seems to be the idea that humans are artificial, or can at least summon an artificial self through their thoughts, and it all has to do with introspection and the idea of looking inwards to bring out the better self. So a lot of sort of Eastern philosophy, yogi type ideas.
That makes sense.
Did you just say that it was a book that handled intense topics?
Pretty much.
Why is this conspiracy theory?
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy theory because they say that the themes and uh, practices in the book can be applied to real life. Because by looking inward, you could bring out the better self of yourself. And that kind of stuff.
Right then.
Alright.
Baltic Sea Anomaly refers to an event that happened in 2011 in which a fishing ship that was using sonar caught this image while looking at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. The Baltic Sea is, as you could imagine, pretty deep, and the idea behind this being that it is a UFO that crashed on the planet some time ago. It's still there to this day. However, for anyone who knows anything about sea travel, it is much harder to keep someone alive underwater than it is in space. This is due to things like pressure, and the deeper you go into water, the harder it is to maintain, which is the reason we normally just send submersibles really deep, and it costs a lot of money. So no one's seen it fit to investigate this yet, or that's what they want you to think. But either way, as far as this moment goes, all we know about is there's this odd shape down there.
Not only that, but whenever they did send submersibles down to look at it, they couldn't get too close or else there'd be radio interference for whatever reason. So they could only get to a certain point and look at it from a distance. Yo, Dragon's
Wait,
back.
hold on. I just realized.
What'd you just realized?
Why can't we just send a recorder really fucking deep in a contraption that is that is well enough built to hold such pressure, especially considering
So you're pretty much saying sending
that
a submarine down there.
well, yes, but not a physical human being or anything like that in said submarine. There have been machines that have been out there that can have
Like I
a
said,
one
there's radio.
6 oxygen molecules inside of a container at once and have it not implode on itself. And yet we still can't have that for anything else. The pressure must be absolutely insane to have only 6 molecules in said chamber. But I don't understand why we can't do that with a fucking camcorder inside.
It doesn't even matter because there's radio interference, which means that you can't actually get too close anyways.
I mean, radio interference, radio interference. We don't need radio to take a recording.
Talking about the transmission between the camera and everything else.
Yes, I know this. I'm not saying that we have to have another thing outside of that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, just a two-way trip, one back without any directions or needing of visuals. Well, there's no camera interference. Just straight up go down there, come back up.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I'm not a marine person.
Well, realistically, from what none of it I heard, it'd be best just to send. Basically, give something instructions. It goes, follows those instructions, does what it needs to. Basically, stops like 100 feet away from it, takes a picture, and then follows those instructions to get back up to surface.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty much what they do to get these pictures. So.
And extinction is just referring to the fact of an idea that was mentioned in previous tiers that humanity will eventually become extinct, and how this might even be a good thing in order to save the planet. That's the entire idea of eco triage, that we have to cut off the bleeding somewhere. the bleeding being us, in order to save our ecosystem. Haunted locations, world map, and research.
Okay. Alright. Well, we're all gonna die.
It's less of a conspiracy theory, more of, hey, this is an idea. It's absolutely morbid, terrible idea, but an idea nonetheless.
Yeah, and that's kind of what conspiracy is. It's just like, here's an idea. Let's say that it's true
Well, no,
or
it's
might be true.
Here's an idea. You're gonna die
game
and the
on,
next
yeah.
year.
Uh,
That's the entire idea of eco triage, that we have to cut off the bleeding somewhere, the bleeding being us, in order to save our ecosystem. Haunted locations world map. From everything I can find, there are several maps that display different haunted locations in the world, so perhaps looking into each of them and researching. If that's what this does means, this could literally go on forever, but I think it's just referring to the fact that there are documented records of haunted places around the world, and that should be at least a little bit concerning.
I, I
All
thought
of New Mexico.
I thought it was talking like I thought it was talking about ley lines.
Those are probably
You know about ley
more.
lines, right?
Yeah, I think anyone who watched like the 2016 Ghostbusters movie probably knows a decent amount about it.
Yeah, but they're stupid.
Fair enough.
who
But I
who
know better.
actually remembers that movie? Am I right? Because like
Is that the feminist Ghostbusters or the good one?
the feminist
I
Ghostbusters.
don't think
I
there's a
remember
Ghostbusters.
absolutely nothing about it. I remember there was like a queef joke, and then that was like the end of the movie. That's all I remember. I remember literally nothing about the plot. I remember queef joke and Chris Hemsworth being a bitch for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth was there.
Chris Thorworth,
Yeah,
I don't remember literally any actors.
Chris
except
Odinson.
yeah, that was a weird one. Luckily, they're gonna refurbish it.
Make it not garbage.
Yeah.
Make it not
The Snyder
trash.
cut versus the original cut of the Justice League, which I still haven't seen.
It's kind of a good thing you haven't.
I haven't seen the Snyder cut.
Oh, okay.
I've seen the original, not the Snyder.
Dang. You got 4 hours?
And there's something strange in the neighborhood. Who's gonna come on?
Not ghost.
Oh,
Artificial
yes!
poisonous snow.
That's all I have to. That's all I have to hear. Artificial poisonous snow. It's fake. All right, the snow is fake and artificially made by the government. Why does it burn instead of melt whenever you put a fire over it? I don't know. Maybe it's something called physics.
You
Oh no, he's not
cut
happy
out.
about that.
Well, you didn't even cut out. You just deep fried when you.
For some reason, it sounded like Hunter was just getting further away from his microphone.
Yeah, it would sound. It would sound more
Is he just getting further and further away from his
camera,
microphone?
like for
Yeah,
real.
is it just me or is Hunter disappearing from reality for like 2 seconds at a
No,
time whenever he's
I don't
talking?
want to go. I don't want to go.
Mr. Starkey don't feel so good.
But yeah, you sounded so deep fried when you said physics. It would sound more like the word physics if I dropped pants and fired into the camera for real. Like you,
Like, how know the band?
I mean, that is
like
a
you went from maybe it's because of this thing called
Maybe it's because this thing called physics.
physics.
no. It's so deep fried. I don't know how you got to that volume.
But yeah, artificial poisonous snow. I don't like that. Anyways, we're gonna watch the rest of that though.
Is something that occurs in mostly Midwest cities from everything I could find, in which snow will occasionally fall from the sky
It
and not
happens
melt for a
everywhere,
very extended
actually.
amount of time, and whenever flames is held to it, it becomes black. The implication in this being that the government or some other force is raining this artificial snow on us to poison us in some way. However, in the extra research I did on this, I think this is just pollution. King Babylon
Yeah, there's actual explanations for this Wendigoon, for it turning black. It's black because of how snow works, because there's other materials in snow, because you get it from the ground and you make snowball out of it, and so you have extra materials on the snow, and that's what burns on the outside of the snow, and the water goes inside the snowball because of how compact it is. And yeah. Anyway,
You seem so depressed from this story.
I'm sad because TikTok brought it back.
Babylon's world control is kind of vague because there is no King Babylon. Babylon was an empire. There were kings like Nebuchadnezzar II and Hammurabi, and each have their own conspiracy theories. If I had to guess, this is specifically referring to in the book of Revelations, where it talks about Babylon will be the downfall of the new world empires and things such as, which I think this is basically referring to the idea that there will be strength rise up from the east, so to speak. However, that's all speculation. What I believe the conspiracy is referring to is just this idea in Revelations, and the idea that at some point there will be a leader rise up in the Middle East.
At Heinz, every ketchup starts with our same tomatoes. But not every tomato ends in the same kind of Heinz ketchup. Because a bit of magic unfolds when there's a ketchup for everyone.
Who will dominate control of at least several world powers.
I wonder if you can make a racist joke out of ketchup.
I don't know.
I'm talking about, their mixes that they had, like mayo.
Ugh.
You remember those?
No, I don't. Don't want to.
Yes, the depopulation funds. I already sense this was stupid.
Before we get there, just a little side note. I was watching a not a documentary. I was watching a news thing one time, and it's just like, could you imagine tanks rolling through this area? And I'm just like, wait, don't already? It was talking about Israel versus Palestine, and they were just like, imagine tanks running through this holy land. And it's just like, so wait, they don't already do that?
Well, tanks for that, but I already can imagine that.
Yeah, because Palestine and
But tanks, no
Israel,
thanks.
not a subject I want to talk about too much, but Palestine and Israel, they both got angrier.
I've been
Except
pong.
China's whole again, then it broke again. Who are the Tamil Kings? Merchants, probably. And they got spices.
Who would like to buy spices? Me, said Saudi Arabia, swiftly buying it and selling it to the rest of the world.
I can see Hunter is just in pain.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was talking to knock their food skirt off.
Population
So pain, got it.
funds is very closely related to the planned extinction I talked about earlier. When it comes to this, everything I could find mostly related back to Bill Gates and ideas that money is being put into several ecological departments that are studying things such as, and everything else I could find on it related back to the idea that they are planning to get rid of what they refer to as useless eaters, which is actually a term originally coined in Nazi Germany, and just refers to people who take up space in a population without contributing. So if it ever got to a point where we were losing our ecosystem,
This is getting very close to racist, and I'm not very sure how much I like it.
So if it ever got to a point where we were losing our ecosystem fast and we had to immediately correct the human population, the first to go would be these useless eaters, or whoever the government rules is not fit to continue, basically. SCP
So it's like so it's like
SCP-049.
so it's like my plan if for overpopulation. Okay.
Hey, if all else
I may or may
fails,
not have
literally,
several plans for overpopulation, alright.
Oh,
Tono's
oh,
Tono's
the
secretly a
answer.
supervillain. Tono's a
Oh,
supervillain.
there's already an answer for overpopulation. It's called world hunger.
What are you talking about? I call it cannibalization. Pretty much. You just eat people
I mean,
and
you
you
can
solve
solve
world
one with the
hunger.
other.
Yeah, you
You
solve
can call
world
both
hunger
at the same
and
time.
overpopulation if you just start being cannibalistic.
Yeah.
Humans
This
have a
is
lot
why
of
North
nutritional
Korea thinks
value.
we're cannibals.
We're not can.
We're not
No, it's not
cannibals,
just
we're
North
Wendigos.
Wendigo, Wendigo,
Oh yeah,
Wendigo.
I like Sonic better.
Hunter's straight looking like a Minecraft creeper.
He leaves immediately. That's
Because
hilarious.
I'm wearing a green jacket. And green shorts doesn't mean nothing.
Oh no, he's about to explode. Run. Why did Hunter just sit down so, like, dramatic, like?
It's like, I am the hunter.
Piece based on
This is going to be one that Dragon really likes.
the government rules is not fit to continue, basically. SCPs based on real life is just saying one of two options: that either the SCP Foundation is real and that all the logs have been linked by disgruntled SCP agents, or some real life supernatural phenomena is hidden in SCP files, both to keep the identity of the person who uploaded it safe and to warn whatever few people may read it of what's really out there. I personally like the second one more since it's at least sort of plausible. So yeah, holotropic breath.
Okay,
It's
so
sort of plausible.
for so my logic was that basically basically it's like what's it called? It's a trick. Basically, some of them, yes, some of them like the second theory, but they do it not just to say. Basically, it's to hide the fact that there is actually stuff out there. Basically, like how they like they tell like how people tell ghost stories and then they think it's all fake because it's just a ghost story.
Yeah.
That's probably
That wiki feet. I'm wearing shoes.
For me,
so
like
basically
SCPs in real life are just cryptids and weird stuff that happen, paranormal
basically.
activity.
While some SCPs are based off cryptids as well.
Exactly. Like
Like
places,
literally like
cryptids,
what was
and
it? 1,000,
objects.
2,000? SCP-1000 or SCP-2000 is literally Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I mean, SCP, whatever the fuck is Jesus.
Technically, but also not, but okay.
And then there's the entire state of New Mexico because of course.
Ah yes. Ah
The
yes,
one
everyone.
place where we could kill an immortal lizard and make it work a 9 to 5 at fucking Burger King.
Okay, we're not Florida. Get out of here.
No, I'm talking. No, they released that immortal lizard from SCP into New Mexico, and it was never seen again.
You mean SCP-682?
Yes.
Yes, they released SCP-682, the thing that can destroy a civilization within days
All
after.
right, Hunter,
And
he can't, Hunter, he's a lizard
whatever
that
it is,
hates humanity. He doesn't have the ability to end the universe. Unless he got hit by like a
he
nuke and
doesn't
then he
have the
decided to
ability to
grow
end the universe, but he can eat people and make eggs out of them.
I don't know. I
I
think you're
don't
talking about a different
recall
SCP
that.
because that's not what 682 is at all.
Which
He is
one did that?
literally just a
Which one did
mortal,
that?
angry lizard that hates humanity. That's all 682 is.
There was another lizard that was immortal, and it also ate people, and
Yeah,
then
but this
it
is
682
gave
literally just
unkillable lizard.
hates
and then it
humanity.
gave birth to people, to people that looked exactly like that, but then they aged really quickly, and then after a while, uh, another lizard burst out of them.
Yeah, that's not it at all, but okay.
That's not
Which one was
618.
that?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Realistically, that's starting to sound a lot more like 939.
Oh, 939. Yeah, that's 939. But they
The
released
giant,
682 into New Mexico, and it was never seen again.
Yeah, they released
but at the
682
same time
into
that,
New
that, that
Mexico, and it was never seen or heard from again.
okay, that would be more funny. The fact that this immortal lizard that even nuclear warheads couldn't kill, not even SCP-096, not even SCP-173 could kill, and and it's literally just goes to New Mexico, disappears
Exactly.
permanently.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Among
Quite
Us,
glorious to know that if SCP did exist, we would probably be the only ones to survive.
because you know anomaly, and not. I give up.
Nothing
Which
can kill New Mexicans. We're just that stupid.
I mean, that's more like nah. Someone needs to make a Florida SCP.
For real though.
Real. They would.
SCP Florida.
It would be the New Mexicans versus Floridians.
It literally is just constant.
For
On
real.
who's more batshit insane.
And then
Breathwork is a
Australia becomes an SCP.
Yeah.
No, Australian. Australia, everyone knows doesn't even exist in real life.
Hunter, your kneecaps are now forfeit.
since it's at least sort of plausible. So yeah, holotropic breathwork is a practice that is found in a lot of yogi circles, especially Chinese and other Eastern philosophies. It's the idea
Yogi
that
Bear.
quick, fast breaths
I was
for
thinking
time
that
periods up to
earlier
even
as well.
3 hours can cause the body to sort of reset itself and be more in touch with the inner self. And from this, you can derive true knowledge, spiritualism, and whatever have you for the situation.
What about communism?
I love how the immediate question is just, how about communism?
You get spiritualism, but what about
Probably.
Communist Manifesto?
Stop. Stop. You're going too deep. We're only in part 4. You're going in too deep.
I I have reached ascended levels. You cannot stop me now.
Hermeneutics is about critiquing things from a sense of inner self. Basically, everything I could find on it is just the idea that if there's a literary text or some other form of media that you're trying to understand, that you have to embellish from the self in order to truly understand it, and that people talking doesn't really accomplish anything without meditation. Almost every application I could find of this related to the Bible, and there are several people who have their own interpretations of the Bible using hermeneutics. The Sea people were interesting. When I saw the title, I thought this would just be referring to.
Ah, yes, hermeneutics is literally didn't even deserve to talk.
So sorry, I just kind of dozed off for like 5 seconds.
Realistically,
I
if
was
it
talking to
really
a friend of mine.
if you have to communicate to your inner self to be able to understand what people are talking about, in that case, I obviously am a failure at that because
For
I
real though.
can't tell if people are being sarcastic,
Why do you
joking,
think
or
I have
being.
such a long time speaking? Or I take such a long time speaking. I'm like 90%. I'm so slow that 90% of the time I'm just talking to myself in my own brain.
You're slow. You make a turtle look fast.
Hermeneutics. The Sea people were interesting. When I saw the title, I thought this would just be referring to
Crab
Atlantis fish
people.
people or whatever.
Crab people. We look like people made of crab.
When I saw the title, I thought this would just be referring to Atlantis fish people or whatever, but it's not at all. From 1200 to 900 BC, there was a group of people who are only known in history as the Sea people who went around the Mediterranean Sea fighting different nations, famously of which was Egypt around 1000 BC. These people were supposed to be taller than the average person, no specific mention of giants, just that they were rather large, and they were great fighters and plunderers, and from everything I read, the earliest possible version of pirates. What's interesting is no one knows where they came from. About every other player around the Mediterranean was noted for at that time, and to this day no one knows where the sea people came from or where they went, and they just forever remain this kind of blip in history.
They're Spartans.
I mean, that's plausible. Honestly, I have
They're
no
Spartans
comment.
that
These are just pirate people.
they're pirate Spartans.
Yeah, pirate Spartans, dude.
Because they look like Spartans based on what they look like.
For real. They're just tall pirate Spartans. Easy.
This is Sparta kicking down a well.
Actually, these people are crab people. Stupid.
Hunter, you're not a crab person. Get out of here.
Yeah, you're not a crab person. You just have
I
crabs,
never
alright?
said I was a crab person. God, you don't even understand me.
Yes, and now I am your father, apparently,
Just-
because you just went edgy teenager on us.
For real.
Utono's the mother.
That was
Just-
congratulations. You understand the fucking joke.
Just because you believe in crab people doesn't hide the fact you have crabs.
Hunter, Zoidberg doesn't exist. Get out of here.
Okay, now that I can disagree with. Now that I disagree with, how dare you?
Hunter is a robot. Get out of here. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ting, tang, bubble, the bing, bang. All right, let's continue.
My computer didn't want to
Cryptogeography is
handle your
exactly what it
shit.
sounds like.
Crab people are real,
This
so
kind
is
of
Zoidberg.
blip in history. Cryptogeography is exactly what it sounds like. Like how cryptozoology is the study of paranormal animals, cryptogeography is the study of paranormal spaces. So Bermuda
Australia.
Triangle, haunted sites, yada yada. Infrared laundry balls.
It wasn't fucking funny. Why did you laugh?
Australia.
It was so stupid.
I don't like cryptogeography, but I do at the same time. Like Bermuda Triangle, that's stupid.
But Australia.
Yeah, Australia, New Mexico, and Florida, on the other hand,
And
and Soviet Russia.
in Soviet Tono, he win.
Yes.
Soviet Russia. Tono is actually scary.
Sounds like the Predator every time we do that. Is that how they did it? Probably.
So Bermuda Triangle, haunted sites, yada yada. Infrared laundry balls is the fact that laundry detergent balls that supposedly even in advertising for them mention that they clean clothes with an infrasonic wave actually elicit enough of the stuff to harm the individual. However, whenever companies say stuff like that, they're just using big words to try to talk over people's head and make them think they know what they're doing because no, they don't. Neg entropy.
That's just people being or whatever the term is.
Skeptical.
Skeptical, dumb.
Skeptical.
No, not skeptical. Not dumb, not skeptical. People just being nervous wrecks, just like 5G.
Paranoid.
Paranoid. I forgot what paranoid. God, I am so smart. I can't even remember paranoid.
It's so smart.
God, I'm so smart. My brain is like 18 inches. Like Colonel. It's so large. It's big and wrinkly.
I don't like where this is going, so I would just move on.
Think they know what they're doing because no, they don't. Neg entropy or negative entropy is a concept that exists in thermal physics. The idea is all sources of energy derive from heat in some regard. They either bring heat in or let it out. And any action of energy dispels heat in some way. This makes sense if you think about it more. However, a theoretical negative entropy item would bring in heat or ambient energy in the air whenever it performs a task or does any function. This would theoretically cause a sort of paradoxical loop in which something can be done without taking in energy, and as a matter of fact, creating more of it while also doing more. So this could spiral on forever and ever, and if you read theories on this, in the universe. So that's cool.
All right. Well, there's that.
That would be actually exceptionally useful if someone actually was able to figure that out, because infinite energy crisis is gone. No need to worry
Wait,
about
hold on.
anything.
Was that an entire thing about infinite energy
Yes,
machines?
yes. As long as they don't add an ER to the end.
Dragon, that's not physically possible.
Do you not get? No,
It's
that was literally the whole
theoretical physics, sir.
It
theoretical.
is
I
theoretical
mean,
physics, but it still breaks the first law of thermodynamics.
which you act
No,
like I
it's
don't know.
not
I know the
infinite
first law of
energy. It's pretty much a material that brings in heat instead of expelling heat, pretty much.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Basically, it absorbs heat, but
So it's more
affect.
efficient for energy. Also, this is the thing.
be honest, I could not find anything on Nexus 7. There was one website called Nexus 7 that had a few creepy articles on it, but that was the name of the website and not a conspiracy in
Wait, are
general.
you still recording?
Nexus 7 is both the name of the Android laptop or pad or tablet, whatever it is, and another theory for the movie Blade Runner that one of the characters was a Nexus 7 model. So anything I look up for theory or analysis goes to one of the two, and I have absolutely no idea what this could be referring to unless the tablet or the character from Blade Runner has a conspiracy behind it. It's come to my attention at this point that when this is all over, I'll need to do a corrections video because there's a few other minor details I messed up on. So if anyone can tell me in the comments what this Nexus 7 thing means, I will absolutely give you credit for it, and I can quit trying to look up pictures of tablets. So yeah, sorry about that, but I promise I tried. The Black Hope
Oh my god, that was one of the biggest brain things I've ever seen. It was so
Best
intriguing, and
conspiracy theory ever, dude.
literally just amazing.
I don't know why I'm
Literally,
drinking this. I don't even like this.
I don't know
What are
why
you?
I'm drinking this.
What are you
It's
even
literal
drinking?
batter acid.
Bubbly. Hashtag not sponsored. I don't even like it. I don't know why I'm drinking it.
Okay,
Of course, you're not sponsored. You don't even like it.
This
okay,
is great
but for real,
sponsorship.
the only reason why I would ever try bubbly is because their commercial is "Oh baby." That's how it
A
starts off, is
triple.
"Oh baby," and every time I hear it, I hear the little child in my head singing, "Oh baby, it's tomorrow." That is
Poggers.
the only reason why I would ever purchase bubbly in any sense, because it reminds me of that.
Also, I've looked up
Oh,
Nexus 7 and tried to do my own research for it and came up to the same exact conclusion. There is like nothing I can find on Nexus 7.
that's why it's so no. Here's a conspiracy theory of my own. It was actually a conspiracy theory that was actually a correct one. The government didn't want to get out, so they covered it up.
Dun dun dun.
And then they replaced it with poggers. Okay, that first half I actually believe. That second half was just a meme.
Alright, there you go, Wendigoon. There's our conspiracy theory
There's
on Nexus
that's our
7.
conspiracy. When to
But
go
that's
check out
just a theory.
my video
A
back in
conspiracy theory.
2016, conspiracy facts. Make a video on that. There you go, brand new content. Ah!
Wendigoon, make a video on my 2013 video titled Fredelos. There's a lot of great content in there.
Oh no, if you ever do a video on that, I will personally break your kneecaps.
Or wait, hold on. How old is conspiracy facts again?
This is
Two.
God, that's my favorite
2017.
video on my channel. Is
I can't
conspiracy
remember when it was
facts.
made. Someone Someone
It's
like
like 2017.
someone in
Let's
the
continue
comments
the
just like tell me
conspiracy
when
theories,
conspiracy
and that's,
facts was made on FamSod's channel.
but that's just a fact, a conspiracy fact.
Curse is an interesting
No,
one.
you're doing it
In
wrong. It's
Houston, Texas,
conspiracy.
sorry about that, but I promise I tried. The Black Hope curse is an interesting one. In Houston, Texas, there was a family that moved into a small suburb and immediately began noticing odd things happening around their house. Until one day, an old man showed up and told them that they had bodies in their backyard. The family didn't believe him, but after digging up the backyard, they discovered that there was, in fact, 2 dead bodies buried side by side. It turns out the neighborhood was built on top of an old slave cemetery, the name of which was Black Hope Cemetery. The family reburied the bodies and set up a memorial for them, however, things kept getting worse around the house. At first it was subtle, such as a missing pair of shoes here, or a slight noise down the hallway there, until eventually it became more malicious. Things that were being lost in the house were found on top of the graves in the backyard. After doing research, the mother figured out that these 2 were a buried slave couple. And she felt that by disturbing their grave, she had made them angry. This led to an eventual legal battle with the neighborhood because they sold them a house and didn't tell them there was bodies under it, to which the judge said he would need definitive proof that there were bodies under the house. The mother, in a rage, went back home and began digging up around her yard. Her daughter, who was helping her, came across another body, said she felt ill, and immediately had a seizure, and then died 2 days later in a hospital. The family moved out of the
Jesus
house,
fucking
the
Christ.
bodies were covered up, and to this day it says that the Black Hope curse still resides in Houston, Texas. Falun Gong is an
Didn't they at
interesting
least
one,
get
as it
legal
seems to
compensation?
I don't know.
Probably not, because they probably would have just chucked it up to being a
They
freak
did.
accident.
No. They did find that the bodies were there, which is all they had to do for legal compensation. And
Yeah,
then the seizure could be a result of coming into contact with a corpse, which is still the government's fault. So they better be paid fucking handsomely, and I'm talking enough to get their own special island, or
uh,
like a house, or like a
Hunter,
2-bedroom, or like a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house for like a week in New York. You know?
Hunter, there's one small problem with that. This is the American justice system. That's not how that's not if you're lucky, you're gonna get like $100,000.
That is true.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Which is, my joke was still funny. Damn it.
Okay then. Whatever you say there.
Hope curse still resides in Houston, Texas. Falun Gong is an interesting one, as it seems to be a religion that's derived from Chinese philosophy that also went at odds with the Chinese government. Although initial reports are mixed of why this rivalry started, we know it got to the point that there was about 70 million Falun Gong members who all stood at odds with the Chinese government. This became a total smear campaign in which the government was blocking the word Falun Gong online, throwing various members in prison. It's even estimated that about 2,000 Falun Gong members were killed while in prison. What's even more interesting is that this religion and the founders of it went on to found the Epoch Times, which is now a pretty well-known news source that constantly talks bad about the Chinese government, and seeing where they came from, you could kind of guess why.
I have no idea
Yeah.
why that is a conspiracy theory. Like, what?
Yeah, how's that that's a conspiracy fact.
Hunter,
Say the words.
Say the line. Say the line.
say the line,
Conspiracy
Hunter.
facts.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah!
Hunter, you're fired. No, you didn't put enough oomph into it.
Right. It's conspiracy fact.
Yeah!
Geometrodynamics is sort of the theoretical
Dynamic.
geometry to theoretical physics, and the idea that natural phenomenon and the universe itself can be described and quantitated through geometry. So, super next level math stuff. Core owned
Ah, yes, this circle is equal to the existence of my.
What shape most describes you guys?
Uh, 80 side quad, no, whatever an 80 side shape is called.
Oh, what's it called? There's this one shape that was invented very recently when it comes
Yes,
to geometric shapes,
I know what you're talking about. What's
and
it called?
it
What's it
originated
called?
in Germany with
What's it called?
three falling.
What's it called?
I don't remember. Started with an O.
Oh, oh, O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What is it called, Oobleck?
Bro,
Triangle.
No,
Oobleck is
that's a
the
material.
Oh. It's made by a German couple that was, yeah.
Gombach.
Gombach! Yeah, I'm one of those.
For me, it's triangle.
for me.
That's all.
It's
As
the
you, Dragon said 80 side something. I said Gombach, and then Donald comes around and he's like, dang.
80 side shape.
I'm just like 80 side dragon over here. Just like, I'm an 80 side tetrahedron. What about you, Hunter? Gombach. And then
And
over
then
me,
and
I'm
then
just like, I'm a triangle.
well, see, the reason he's a triangle because all he does is try but fails.
Fuck that god dork.
All he does is try but fails miserably.
Also, this next conspiracy, that's a fact as well. Say the line.
Huh?
This is apparently an actual fact.
It's a
So Hunter,
conspiracy. Fact!
no, Hunter, that wasn't empty enough.
Conspiracy! Shut up!
Yeah, that's better. That's
Alright,
better.
we're good. We're good.
because his microphone broke.
Yeah, the dark web was created by the government, and Tor is their main source for that. You could tell because most dark web sites have to have .onion at the end of it, and that's because Tor is their
I don't
main
understand why people
usage.
go on the dark web because
It's
that is
mostly
big
to be anonymous and safe and secure your identity.
I
Yes,
wanna
except the
go
fact that I bet if
outside.
I go on there, everyone will know my identity and then murk me.
No, no
Or,
one. Only the government would know your identity. And plus, you could buy a rocket launcher, maybe.
ooh, okay, I'm going on the dark web.
For real though, just like download
Yeah,
Tor,
but
dude.
you still have to get the permit.
Let me just download. Let
It's
me just download an
completely legal
RPG.
to get a. It's completely cool to buy rocket launcher on the internet, considering it's not a projectile weapon, and instead it's classified as a construction, not a construction, but destruction,
Demolition.
demolition tool.
Oh
Yes.
yes, my
So
favorite demolition tool. I need to take down this doghouse real quick. Let me just get out my RPG.
My neighbor built his fence over. I gotta demo it real quick.
so technically, getting you could buy one off the deep web. You just have to have a permit
All right,
for
let's
having
continue. Let's continue on this because I'm
small
By the government,
demolition
that's in
tools.
reference to the internet browser Tor, also known as the Onion, which lets people access the dark web. What's funny is, this conspiracy Iceberg was written in 2017, and it has since been proven without a shadow of a doubt that Tor is absolutely run by the government. Not only was it only created to perform government ops and things such as on unlisted websites, but it is also known that they monitor certain transactions on it in order to figure out where people are and what they're doing, and certain upkeep cost for the Tor browser is funded by certain state departments, if secretly so. So yeah, look at this, all grown up. Something that was on the conspiracy Iceberg, now making its way into headlines. Isn't that cute? Cave.
Hey, look, it's Dobby from Harry Potter.
So yeah, Tor is owned by the government. I don't know why that was on the iceberg, but
Get me
okay.
more pictures of Spider-Man, and then
Get
I will accept it.
get me more pictures of cave dwellers.
Get me more.
Dweller Holocaust, while I couldn't
Oh, wait.
find a very specific instance, is in reference to the idea that there were at one point at least two different kinds of humanoid creatures, one of which being us, the other being troglodytes, or
Hi,
cave-dwelling creatures. The idea
working.
being
Oh, hey,
that
What's
at
Hunter,
his
it's
some
your
face
family,
from
point
Harry
we
troglodytes.
Potter?
were at one point at least two different kinds of humanoid creatures, one of which being us,
I
the
was
other
gonna
being
say, what's his
troglodytes, or
face
cave.
from not Lord of the Rings, but Harry Potter?
Dobby
Dobby.
from Harry
Hang on,
Potter,
you
which
Dobby.
I've
need to
already made
Yeah.
that
Oh,
joke.
hi. I was about to say, oh, hi, Dobby.
You can't
But
just steal jokes.
but
Did
Hunter,
he make the joke?
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, well.
but yeah,
Oh,
Hunter.
hi.
Hey,
What's
Hunter,
his
say hi to
face?
your family, other troglodytes.
Oh, hi. What's his face from Lord of the Rings? Because
You
that's a
don't
better joke.
you don't even remember the name, and it doesn't look like that.
He has two names. Shut up.
I'm pretty sure
Confusing.
Gollum doesn't have ears or a nose like that, but okay.
Or eyes that.
If Gollum
Oh,
had a
come on.
nose like that, I would totally watch Lord of the Rings just for that.
Two
If
different
Dobby
kinds
had
of
a nose
humanoid
like that.
creatures. Cave Dweller Holocaust, while I couldn't find a very specific instance, is in reference to the idea that there were at one point at least two different kinds of humanoid creatures, one of which being us, the other being troglodytes, or cave-dwelling creatures. The idea being that at some point we hunted and killed these troglodytes, either out of self-defense or just to stay at the top of the food chain.
What?
This relates to several old world mythologies and stories relating to a troglodyte
Is my
or
dick out or
cave-dwelling
something?
creature,
Oh.
but obviously none existing in our present sense. The Trilateral Commission is a
Took Hunter a while.
Dragon called Hunter a troglodyte 3 times, and you barely got it.
Because I wasn't paying attention. Is doing stuff.
It's all like a troglodyte hunter. It was a massacre of the troglodytes, Hunter. Hunter is the last of the. He is the last troglodyte.
Which means, all right, Dragon, if you want to take it in this direction, then you're bullying a minority. Suck it.
Joke's on you. I am a troglodyte. Just kidding.
Wait a minute.
Hunter's a troglodyte.
All right.
Hunter, you are the last troglodyte.
Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
I
Me?
say, suck it, ancestors. You aren't as cool as I am because you're dead, fucking weird.
Look at that face. He looks so disappointed.
Wait. Oh yeah, I just realized why that looks so familiar. Hunter, we should take the video down. It has your picture in it, and you didn't consent.
I will take you to court over this, you bastard. It's my face, and you're using it without my permission. Look at you with your smug face. She actually looks disappointed at the conference.
Wendigoon just looks like, yo, why must you do this?
Why would you?
I'm just
Why
trying
would you?
to have fun talking about conspiracy theories, and here you are.
Me just roasting Hunter for no reason at all.
but obviously none existing in our present sense. The Trilateral Commission is a board that was founded in 1973 by John Rockefeller, and yes, that's the Rockefeller name. They meet twice a year in Tokyo, Japan, and the board is made up of United States, Western European, Japanese, and Canadian members who discuss, kind of like the Bilderberg meetings, capitalism and other adult things. I don't know what they say they do. It's absolutely rife with conspiracies. Like reading about these people, they get blamed from everything from 9/11 to John F. Kennedy, even though they didn't exist yet. So yeah, super creepy top 1% elitist. Meet every year and talk about stuff. Also,
yeah, there's a trilateral. Yeah.
My question is, why do they have why does he have a one rapper? Can't remember his name.
Because he likes that rapper.
Travis Scott from Fortnite.
Travis Scott from Fortnite, yeah. He likes Travis Scott.
From Fortnite.
He look at the album cover. He's just eating his Big Mac.
Tono likes his Big Mac.
I'm Travis Scott. Here's my McDonald's order.
Let's go. The baby. The imposter.
The baby Scott. To Travis Scott. Hi,
The
I'm
sus.
Travis Scott, and here's my Big Mac.
Oh yeah, instead of
McDonald's
Jesus, it's
order.
Jesus.
Let's go.
I I feel very disappointed because I saw this post. It was a dog that was crying over his owner's grave, but the owner was Jewish, so everyone was like, "Oh, the Jewish! Imagine being Jewish, what a fucking dumbass!" And they're like, "Wow, they can't believe they murdered Jesus Christ," when they don't even realize Jesus Christ was fucking Jewish himself.
And that has to do with this.
They just insulted Jesus Christ. I don't know. I'm just upset. All right. A real conspiracy theory is how the fuck are people so stupid?
That's not a conspiracy theory. Everyone knows why. Because this is America.
I don't care if this is America,
Don't get you
Canada,
sleeping now.
whatever the fuck we're in. This is.
Look how I'm living now. Anyways.
I should mention, especially with that one, I'm at the point in researching this stuff that whenever I type some of this in, the first results are, what are you talking about? You don't want to look up that. Look at this picture of Trump and Epstein. Or like the first 10 search results will just be headline after headline that's like, the dumbest conspiracy of the year, question mark. See why people don't trust the elite. So yeah, I can
Time to start taking care of
I
yourself
hate this ad.
by taking care of your space.
I've never seen this ad before. Why do you hate it?
I'm muting YouTube. Hate that ad.
Why do you hate this ad? What's wrong with this ad?
Alright, so what they
Don't know. What is
in the ad, they say, and I quote, "Yas clean." I want to die.
That's beautiful only because it hurts.
I hate it.
Please tell me that they did that ironically, because if not,
it's not ironically, it's unironic.
I very with everything.
I hurt my bones. That's bone hurting juice.
I'm hurting juice.
Year?
Specific juice made to hurt Tono.
Yeah.
And only Tono.
must be headline after headline that's like, the dumbest conspiracy of the year, question mark. See why people
Probably 'cause
don't
it's a
trust the
dumbass
elite. So yeah, I
fucking
can only imagine what
conspiracy.
the other 6 tiers are going to be like. Dolphin intelligence is exactly what it says. The idea that dolphins are much more intelligent than they're given credit for. But in the more conspiracy side of stuff, it is more so than even the government's letting on. Ideas being that tests with dolphins have shown that they have very complex thought processes, even understanding of right and wrong. However, in order to not discredit our role as top of the food chain, so to speak, all media regarding them simply is like, oh, aren't they a smart animal? When in reality, we're locking up and caging things with complex emotions and conscious. So, you know, again, only good thoughts on this channel.
Can you see why it's stupid conspiracy theories? Yes, the dolphins are as intelligent as the human beings. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Dolphins are evil. They must be destroyed. I don't care what anyone says. Dolphins are evil and shall die. I shall slay them all by my hand. And Dragon's dead and Hunter is not paying attention at all.
I'm paying attention. It's just slavery bores me.
Meat showers refers to the Kentucky meat shower that occurred in 1876. As witnessed by many people on a farm in Kentucky, specifically Bath County, Kentucky, for several minutes, chunks of meat anywhere from 2 to 4 inches wide rained from the sky. And this isn't just like a few pieces after the other, this is like a shower of the stuff, to the point that the entire ground was covered with it in a 100-foot radius. This was 1876.
Falling out of the sky is any less normal than a fucking hailstorm of
To the
chicken.
point that the entire ground was covered with it in a 100-foot radius. This was 1876, so research was weird. There are some people who said that it was essentially a giant cyanobacteria, to others who said it was human flesh, and then researchers who pulled meat from the area got everything back that it was human, to deer, to bear, to whatever. Also, I should mention the amount of people who ate this meat off the ground and said it was either chicken or horse was alarming. Himalayan zombie.
So, yeah, meat showers. My favorite breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I need to rethink life if I see chicken falling out of the fucking sky.
You look like you're already doing that right now. You
I
look
can't-
like Giorgio having a mental breakdown.
I can't deny that I feel like I am. But at the same time, I have nothing to think about other than falling meat.
Imagine some meat falls from the sky. Someone tastes it and it's just
What
like...
was that sound in the background? Did you open up a fucking switchblade while saying imagine meat falling out of the...
Imagine... Oh, dang it, I messed it up. There you go. Imagine meat falling from the sky.
You should get knocked out for tofu in here, perhaps.
I told him we're gonna add him in the next video.
Oh, the next video
Because I'll have to
is...
change the entire setup. So,
It refers
speedrun!
to the ideas
Himalayan
of
zombies. These are zombies that appear in the Himalayas, and lots of people say not to go near them because they are very dangerous and will murder you. Alright, skip through that. Alright, deep philosophies.
Acting with other people doesn't idea
Good loss.
when philosophy or simply keep foreigners out is both very scary and very cool. Deep philosophies is just this very specific idea and the principle that whenever judging something, be it someone, some idea, or some piece of work, that interacting with other people doesn't help and you have to pull everything out of yourself in order to actually understand how you feel about it, and that's where true understanding comes from. It's very closely related to hermeneutics, which I talked about earlier. Next is Civil War sightings.
Civil War sightings. People see ghosts of the Civil Wars and people battling and stuff. Sometimes at areas where battles took place. And
Civil War reenactments just going on.
it's not Civil War reenactments because it disappears and appears at will, and no one's been seen going to them. They're ghost people.
You sound so disappointed by this.
I sound so because you keep asking questions that are answered by obvious means. Isn't it obvious, sir?
Yeah, but like,
wasn't it obvious enough?
You sounded more disappointed coming across this than I did when we got to meat rain. Like, for real.
So we finna skip through this one.
Wait, why we finna skip this one again?
Because I just explained it. And also we're doing speed run.
We got to get them tofu.
Yeah, we gotta get them in.
A better understanding of the world, and time is sort of a construct.
Possibly
anyway,
more
that does
gone.
it for part 1 of tier 4.
Alright, there we go. We got part 1 of tier 4.
Yeah.
Overall, great conspiracy video. A lot of it was good. A lot of it unbelievable, as with most of these conspiracy theories. What were your thoughts, Hunter?
I thought 90% of it was bullshit.
Okay.
Like the top two parts of the iceberg were like the first two parts of the iceberg were like the only ones that I can actually go along with.
What do you think of it, Dragon? Exactly, I agree. So yeah, we'll see everyone next time. We can't really delve deeper into this. We might do it later or something. But make sure
Look,
you
I
subscribe
am
to
Jojo.
Wendigoon. Make sure you subscribe to
Wow.
Formslad. Make sure you
That
subscribe
is
to Dragon.
so bizarro,
And make
my
sure
friend.
you subscribe to me. Leave a like or dislike, as they both count as a like. Make sure to comment down below,
Why did I
as I
even do
love
this?
reading your comics. And yeah, Hunter has a toupee now. Definitely. And we'll see y'all
How did I do this?
later.
How did I do